right here!
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribe-Light, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skep, Tock.
I'm Prospero.
And I'm Della Hayes.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions, and special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Let's be xenophobic, it's really in this year. Let's find a nasty, slimy, ugly alien to fear. There's no more cutesy stories about E.T. phoning home. Let's learn to love our neighbors like the Christians learned in Rome. We know we ought to hate them, they're different, you see. We've seen their mean and ugly on movies and TV. The folks that ought to know have told us how it's got to be. The gospel truth is found in scenes from Alien and V. Let's wipe out any life form that seems to be a threat. We'll serve them up a genocide they never will forget. 'Cause if we miss a couple, they'll breed a couple more. And soon we'll all be hating twice as many as before. You see, aliens can never be as good as humankind. A more delightful race than us you'll never ever find. So step aside, you star slime, we're ready for your worst. We know you want to beat us, enslave us and defeat us, oppress us and browbeat us unless we get you first.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the zoo. I'm your Zookeeper tonight, Inquisitor. And joining me so far is just Simmias.
Hey guys.
I think we'll have some more later on. Maybe we'll see who's going to be joining in. You know, it's my night and it's always unpredictable. But how are you this evening, my friend?
Good, Quiz. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Tonight I'm going to be painting one of my new Death Dreads. Got the thing secondhand from someone at my local game store. I think I need to re-glue him because his legs are not attached to their base properly. Well, it's better than the other one. The other one, like some of the smokestacks came off. But
nice.
He was already primed bolt gun metal, or one of those metallic primers, so I don't have to worry about painting that. I can just start painting. Make sure his feet are secure first.
Right.
But yeah, before we went,
well enough.
We were talking about some of the new stuff for Warhammer, and one of the things that we brought up is salamanders and the Infernus squad, which is one of the new units that's going to be put in a new 10th edition release box. And if the same sort of thing holds true for the other like Primaris stuff, it stands to reason that I would not be shocked if there were other options, others for for their weapons.
I'm really hoping, because it's just garbage that look at even is it Templars? I think it's Templars. They get to have the heavy flamers and the heavy meltas, and I'm just like, that's kind of my shit. Like, come on, really?
Yeah. Well, in the 8th edition supplement thing for salamanders, they didn't get anything like new and unique to the salamanders. What it was is that
right,
they just were more efficient at using flamers and meltas.
Right. But if you look at the from what I saw with 10th coming up, I think is what I saw, we're going to have like the +1 to damage and wound stuff from our new stuff. So it's just like, can I get some heavy flamers now? Like,
Yeah.
for real?
Right.
And that's kind of one of the reasons why I kind of did double pyroclast. From like, I'm just like, maybe that can just be a heavy flamer, and that's all they will be. But
well, the ones that you were painting last weekend.
yeah, these guys.
Yeah, the ones that everyone was saying aggressors. One of the
Yeah,
things that
yeah.
aggressors get is they get flame storm gauntlets,
Right.
which are both a power fist and a heavy flamer, and they get
Right.
2 of them. Yeah, but that's something that all aggressors get. It's just that,
Right.
you know, you can make a little bit more of an efficient use out of them being a salamander.
Right. So that's my only bugaboo right now is I feel like there needs to be some fixing there.
Yeah.
I'm not salty, but there just needs to be some fixing.
I mean, yeah. We'll see when that comes around, because I mean the major thing is that like some of those chapter specific things just haven't withstood the test of time. The major one,
Right.
for my knowledge, is Imperial Fists. Like most of the Imperial Fist stuff just did not survive
Oh yeah, they got fucked hard.
Yeah.
Like,
the transition, so to speak.
and I don't understand why. Like, it wasn't their stuff wasn't horrible. Like, what was the?
It was the fact that they were an unintended casualty of Iron Hands being too good.
Oh God.
Because back in 8th edition, Iron Hands had like a 68 to 70% win ratio.
Oh geez. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty awful. It was really funny though when after the LVO streak happened and literally every single army that placed in the tournament in the like top 10 were Iron Hands, and they were all like really similarly built. That the doctrine nerfs happened, and literally every single army that came up on eBay the next like 2 weeks were all Iron Hands.
Iron Hands.
I mean, it just goes to show you that there are some people that are so fair weather when it comes to this game.
I was freaking to say, yeah. And I get called a tourist. That's funny.
Yeah. And these are tournament players too. I mean.
Right.
And what I love though is that it got memed to fucking back. Like one of my favorite ones is there was a thing where it was like a big old monster popping out of like a present, and there's 2 SpongeBobs. One SpongeBob is looking all apathetic, and then the other SpongeBob is, you know, screaming. And it was the monster was labeled as Doctrine Nerf. The screaming
Doctrine. Oh my God.
Yeah, the screaming SpongeBob Imperial Fists. The completely
stupid.
unamused SpongeBob Blood Angels. Like, oh no, my heavy weapons! I can't make my heavy weapons work anymore! The Blood Angels, what heavy weapons? Bitch, I still have to wait 3 turns to be useful.
Right. All right, let's see how good I am at blending. This is gonna suck hard.
Doing a wet blend?
Thinking about it.
Wet
I haven't
blends
done one in forever.
are nice, and they are very effective at getting some like good texture and color variation on your nails. I did a wet blend on the skin of all of the Fleshhounds of Corn that I painted for my roommate.
You and that chaos crap. Jeez.
That's my roommate. My roommate's very, 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 very chaos. even his loyalist faction, I mean, he did Dark Angels, so you know.
Well, Dark Angels, I guess, is fine, right?
Yeah, they're totally loyal. I'm thinking what I want to do for my Death Dreads here is obviously I want to paint them red because, you know, Evil Sons. That's my main army for my orcs, even if I don't always play Evil Sons, especially if I'm playing boarding action. But what I'm thinking is that since I have 2 of these Death Dreads and they're both outfitted the exact same way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint one with blue on his armor carapace around here somewhere.
Yeah.
And then the other one yellow. So use them as like accent marks. And the reason why is because I was looking it up. Those colors are actually associated with the individual orc gods. Blue for, I believe, Mork, and yellow for Gork.
Oh yeah, that looks good. You know, I'm thinking about just doing like 500 to 750 points of all the different ones, so I can just play.
Of like all the different Space Marine stuff.
Oh, the Space Marines. I've got Tau. Maybe some Drukhari or regular. Although I don't really like I don't really care for Drukhari, so maybe just
I mean, I like the Dark Eldar from an aesthetics point of view, but for me they're just so confusing to actually try and play.
Yes.
But and I say that being said, I actually have been talking myself out of getting the boarding patrol for the Dark Eldar.
Yep.
Just because, now say that you're old school here. You may not have know about this kind of stuff. It's you know, so it's you're not up to date on it. There's actually a different sort of faction you can play within the Eldar now, called the Ynnari. Now the Ynnari.
Oh, I've heard about them.
Yeah. Okay. So the Ynnari are like, they're ostensibly speaking, Craftworld Eldar. Okay, they're a faction of Craftworld Eldar, but there is rules in it that allow you to take no more than half of your army. So, for what that means is like for every 1 unit of Craftworld, you can take 1 unit of Dark Eldar.
What?
In your army.
How does that work?
So what it is, the reason why the Ynnari specifically, you have to play only Ynnari, this is the only way that it works, is because the Ynnari are not really a single specific craft world. They are followers of a new Eldar god, a god that is in ascendance and is yet to be completely born, called Yniad. And Yniad...
Oh god, not another fucking god.
Yniad is the god of death for the Eldar. It is the death god. And so what it is that followers of Yniad don't see any distinction between Craftworld or Dark Eldar. So you can take both.
Okay.
And I already have a full-on Craftworld army. So if I get some Dark Eldar stuff, I can play a Ynnari army. So that's the reason why I keep having to talk myself out of getting the boarding patrol for the Dark Eldar. So I could play Ynnari. What's kind of cool about the Ynnari too is that they have rules in them that are very similar to the Sisters of Battle. They get this thing called Power Through Death, where their units actually gain like more battlefield efficacy, the more you lose. So, like, if you take 2 or 3 casualties, your unit gets objectively better.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah. And the Battle Sisters get it with specifically Order of Our Martyred Lady.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I say it sucks when you really like the army that is the poster child for the army. Because that's how it is for me in Battle Sisters. I really like Our Martyred Lady, which is the black armor, red robes.
Yeah, I do like the sisters. They're
Yeah, Battle Sisters are really fucking cool. They've always been really cool in my opinion.
I agree.
And that's why I have an old pewter army, because I collected them back when they were only in pewter.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So there's no possible way anyone could call me a fucking tourist. I'll sit there and say, oh, how many pewter Battle Sisters do you have? That's what I saw.
Right.
That's what I thought. Sit back down, motherfucker.
Well, even like one of the guys was like, "God, your painting's horrible." I'm like, that doesn't mean I'm not a player. Like, stop. Hell, at that point, even one of the other guys was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to pick on his painting. Like, that's some bullshit." I'm like, "Oh, thank you. Okay."
I'll say, and not only that, I don't think your painting's bad either.
That's not great, but
Well, I say, you know what? I've been of the opinion of this the entire time. Regardless of whatever you may think of your skill, I don't think that I'm a very good painter either. But I will say this: every single time that you paint a mini, you get better.
oh sure.
So, you know, why stress yourself out over, you know, what your minis look like now when you know that 4 or 5 months down the line it's going to look better.
Right. Well, that's fair.
So, it's a skill and it develops just like anything else. So,
So what are you looking forward to in 10th?
mainly I just want 10th to come out already. Like, I'm a little annoyed at the roadmap, the Codex roadmap that they put out. It was another thing we talked about extremely briefly before we went live. I'm a little annoyed at the Codex roadmap, mainly, and it's selfish. It is selfish. I'm not going to say that it's not. But the reason why I'm annoyed at it is because none of my primary armies are on it. My Blood Angels.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not on the roadmap. Sisters of Battle. Not on the roadmap. Imperial Guard. Games Workshop. What do you have against me? What do you have against the Imperial Guard? We were dead last. We get to use our codex for like a couple months. Then you completely invalidate the codex and go to a new edition. What do you have against the Imperial Guard, Games Workshop? Anyway, I digress. So, yeah, I'm a little annoyed with that. So, now I'm focusing in on 3 primary armies because they are on the roadmap. And that's going to be my Admech, my Necrons, and my Orcs.
Oh, Admech, I keep forgetting.
I say I like my Admech. Have you seen my Tech Priest?
I have not.
There you go. I'll put him up on stream here for you. There's my Tech Priest Dominus that I finished painting a while ago.
Sorry, there's a lag. I'm trying to wait for it.
Oh yeah, I get it. There's about a 10-second delay.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, I really like him.
I'll put him up against this any day, though. Come on, big boy.
Was that Drago?
That's Drago.
Nice. Drago's one of my favorite Grey Knight characters, man. He really is.
Yeah, I'm ready for him to come out of the warp permanently.
Well, we'll see. I can't remember the name of the demon, but the demon that cursed him has to die first.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that, I keep mixing up both him and Brother Captain Stern.
Yeah, Stern.
Yeah, Brother Captain Stern's nemesis is the Lord of Change.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his name. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so that was my first wet blend I've done in forever, and I'm not horribly upset with it. It's just not great. The front looks better than the back.
I mean, I can't really see too well. Let me pull up my Discord. Oh, it looks okay.
Yeah, the front just looks better.
Yeah, the major thing for like wet blends, especially with because you're doing like a flame kind of motif, right?
Yeah.
Is that you may want to like let it fully dry for a bit, and then go through the lower areas with a wash of some kind.
That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
I did not think of that.
That way you can get like the lower areas to get a little bit more of a
upset first.
Yeah.
Good point.
I mean, I find that that's probably my biggest hurdle when it comes to painting, is I have to fight with myself all the time about being patient.
Yeah, I haven't done it in so long. Like, I literally had to go back and revisit all of my old paints because all of my old paints had, like, expired, basically. They were all dried. So, it's been so long since I picked up paint that I'm just like,
So, here's the big question here. The face on this guy, you know, the big orky face on the Death Dread. Should I go vertically and do like one side red and then the other side a different color, or do I do just the upper part of the skull face one color and then do the jaw a different color?
Are you going to do the other shoulder in red?
Yes.
I was going to say, if you're going to do the other shoulder if you were going to do the other shoulder in a different color, I would suggest doing the inverse on the face.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. I think I might, what I might do is for this one, I'll go with the jaw in blue, and then the other pauldron in red, and then I think the next one's down, because like you can see like there's two different shoulder segments on these things.
I think that would work.
The second one down be the other color. And then
Yeah, I think that would work.
And then the other one I'll probably go left and right are different colors. I'm gonna do yellow for that one. I just realized this thing's missing a toe. That's fine. It's Orky tech. It's not supposed to be all entirely there.
Yeah, it might go faster too.
Yeah. Well, it's red, so of course it will.
Yep. All right, let's see. So I got a question for you, Quiz.
Yeah, what's up?
On these guys right here, the shoulder pads only around the outside here.
Mm-hmm.
Gold or green?
Okay, so I think it all comes down to these guys. Are they veterans or are they like rank and file?
Now that's a good question. I haven't thought about that.
Because if they're veterans, absolutely do a
Gold.
A gold metallic or like a yellow metallic around the outside. If they're rank and file, go green.
Okay. Gives me something to think about. Okay.
Once I get done with painting these guys, I think I'll post pictures of them up on the Discord.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, where I contacted the guy that sold me them. He'd be like, "You sold me these Def Dreads. Here's what I painted them." And so the guy that I bought these off of, he's getting rid of a whole bunch of orcs because he's consolidating down his armies. I think he's going pure chaos. So he's getting rid of all. And I jumped at the opportunity. He sold me 2 Def Dreads for $60, which, if you buy them retail,
2 Def Dreads for 60.
Yep. Which if you buy them for retail,
Holy shit.
$60 gets you 1. So
Right. I was going to say, like, that's a steal.
yeah. So yeah, I jumped at that chance. I was all like, fuck yeah, I'll buy both for $60. And they were outfit exactly how I would want to outfit them, which is 2 Dread Claws and 2 rocket launches. Do I leave the outside metal?
Leave at least a little metal. That's orky.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like the outside edge of the skull, like right here. The area that's not front facing. I'm thinking I might leave that just bare metal.
Yeah, go for it. That's a good idea.
I wonder if I can get all of my Necrons painted off stream and in like 1 or 2 sittings. I'm wondering if I can challenge myself to do that.
I bet you could.
I probably could, yeah. My Necron color scheme is not all that complex.
I was going to say, I was surprised earlier when we were talking on Discord, like when you mentioned Necrons from Old World, I was like, you been working on yours, any?
Well, the major thing that I can't wait for Old World is the release of the Tomb King specifically, so that I can get the Ushabti, because I use the Ushabti as chaos spawn for my Thousand Suns.
Oh, that makes sense. So, with the direction that I think Games Workshop is heading, I think we're going to be seeing a reemergence of as many Primarchs as they can stomach, right?
Sure.
You think a lore change could be heading this? You think a lore change is heading this way?
I don't think so. I think in terms of what they can get away with without like changing things or like retconning things, I think we're pretty much good for the time being. Mainly because I think that their retcons are like extremely measured and are not necessarily all that pervasive to the narrative that has already been established. The major retcon that immediately comes to mind, especially in the past couple of years, was the Necron remake. Because the Necrons used to be...
Oh, with the Silent King?
Well, no, the Necrons used to be entirely autonomous, right? Like, they were...
Sure.
They were all slaves to the Catan. They were slaves to the Star Gods, right? And the
Right.
retcon was, now they're not slaves to the Catan are slaves to them.
Yeah, they trapped him, right,
Yeah, they
right.
completely 180'd the Necron story. And the reason why they were able to do that, I think, is because there were no novels. There were no, cartoons. There were nothing like that in the wider context of Warhammer. So they could get away with sit there and saying, well, it wasn't like that, it's not like that anymore. It's like that now. Because now we can have novels. We can have cartoons. We can have all this kind of stuff. Movies, so on and so forth. So in terms of like big retcons, especially when it comes to stuff like within the Imperium, I don't think we will see that at all.
Gotcha.
The biggest retcon that I think that they will probably make is with Rogel Dorn. Because Rogel Dorn has been confirmed in older sources to be 100% dead. Like, there was no quibbling about it. He was dead.
Right.
Now they're leaving it intentionally vague, that the only thing they found was a severed hand.
Right.
So I think when it comes down to that, that's going to be the biggest retcon that they'll have, is if they wanted to eventually bring out Rogel Dorn. They'll say, well, news of his death were greatly exaggerated.
Yeah, I could kind of see that happening. Yeah. So this will show you how long it's been since I've played. With the Primaris,
Yes.
something that I learned the other day. When did they get the Necron ability to regenerate?
Okay, what do you mean?
They can just come back alive?
No, they can't.
Oh, I thought I saw somewhere someone was playing and they were like, I could like save him with a librarian. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
No, there's certain things that you can do to bring dead minis straight up back onto the table. Battle Sisters do it, Space Marines do it, and like a couple of other stuff do it. But it's from medical stuff. Like you'll have to remove a model as a casualty, but if you have an apothecary nearby, you can bring a model back. Not a lot of them have pickups anymore. They used to be more prevalent in 8th edition than they are now in 9th. But there are some armies that allow you to like reinstate dead models.
Gotcha. Okay, I was just making sure because it's like this is really weird.
Yeah, they say it's much more common now than it was like say back in 5th edition. 5th edition they didn't have any
Right.
or, like 3rd through 5th and stuff like that. They didn't have
Yeah,
anything that
even
allowed
in
you to-
sixth it was a little nothing like that for Marines.
Yeah. Like the big one that I remember from back in the day was Saint Celestine. Saint Celestine was unique
Yes.
in the fact that when she died, you could set her up immediately back onto the battlefield, on the battlefield with D3 wounds remaining, and she's still that way. So I really do chalk up a lot of the direction that Warhammer went in terms of like overall game progression into the developers who came up with the Witch Hunters Codex, because a lot of the stuff that's in the Witch Hunters Codex, that's just stuff that's in the game now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good for Games Workshop and good for people that like me that actually played the Witch Hunters.
Right.
I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go orange on this plate up above. That'll be a better mesh for the red.
I think I remember talking to you about this. Do you use a wet palette?
I do not. I mean, I built one you know, with the whole sandwich container, wax paper and sponge sort of thing.
Right.
But no, I don't actually use it. I found that, like, it was much more difficult to set up and didn't save me too much time or material in the long run, so I just kind of abandoned using it.
Gotcha.
I do massively respect people who do use them, though. I mean, it's a good practice to have. It definitely saves you paint over time. Especially if you use dropper bottles.
Yeah, that's what I've got right now. All I'm using is Vallejo and Army.
Yeah, it's not a bad selection. I mean, Vallejo definitely does have a good selection, and I really like the consistency and brush feel of their paints. They're really good.
Yeah, they're good. I'm actually kind of surprised with the Army painter paint so far. I was really kind of nervous about it.
Oh, okay.
But they're not bad.
That's good. I've heard mixed opinions about Army painter. Some people really don't like their consistency, and then others really didn't like the amount of pigmentation that they have. But
Over pigmentation or under pigmentation?
under.
Oh.
But I don't know. For me, I have no real problem with any of that kind of stuff. I think I do have some Army painter stuff. Oh, no. All of mine is model color. So all of mine is Vallejo. Yeah, I primarily use Vallejo, Citadel, and Scale 75. Those are my primary.
I was gonna say scale. I remember you. I know you're a big scale guy, so.
Well, I say I was so much of a scale color guy that I, without even knowing it,
harassed the rep.
Harassed the rep. What's the deal with black metal always being out of stock, my guy? Huh?
That's funny.
I need that for my Necrons. It's fine.
Base coated really quick, and then I can start.
And see, that's another thing too, is that, like, a lot of people, you know, get on some of the other companies for, you know, consistency and stuff like that too. The only reason really why I stick with Citadel quite so much is because it's what's familiar. I mean, if I started like with you know, Vallejo or Scale 75 or Model Color or any of those other kind of things, I think I would just stick with them too, because that's what's familiar. It's just the fact that I've had the Citadel paints for so long, and I've been doing this for so long, that it's like, this is just what I know.
Yeah, no, I mean, that makes sense. It's kind of a similar vein. Like, I was a cheap motherfucker. Here you go. This was some of the first stuff. That's some of the first stuff that I used. And you want to talk about having to, like, be careful with your watering it down to thin it down. Like, I mean, I still use some of them because you just, some of them just have a good color, but oh, you got to be so careful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and there's some stuff where I
like that one I use the shit out of for my Grey Knights, for like their power weapons.
Oh wow,
and
look at that.
white over it, and then yeah, because that's Drago's sword. That's all Drago's sword right there.
Okay. Now,
So,
so you know
I mean,
how,
it works. It works.
you know
You just
how
got to be careful with it.
How I get that? Let me see. Hold on, shit. Oh, do I not have anything on my desk with it? No, I think it's all in my cases. Crap.
Epic fail.
Yeah. I could show you some of the stuff that I do. I do a blue like that as well for like all of my witch weapons for my Eldar, and then any power weapons for like my Blood Angels. And I change it up from time to time. Like sometimes I'll do blue, sometimes I'll do well, for my roommate's Chaos Space Marines, I did orange. And what I do is I paint it on like a metallic, and then, you know, like you were saying before, a wet blend. I give it a wet blend of that color, and then go back and I actually take a incredibly fine tipped brush, like right here, like this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I actually paint lightning coursing down the
like a triple O or something over the top of it.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I think I've got my Mephiston that I can get here. I just gotta move some of this stuff around and I'll get them out. I say I've got an old Mephiston, and I painted the lightning down his sword, and it's one of my absolute favorite paint jobs I've ever done. And then now I just can't recreate it because it was all old stuff that they don't make anymore. So
right,
it's frustrating. But yeah, here, let me see if I can get him. I just want my war boss in mega armor. Dropped him on the floor. I gotta move all of my paints. That's the problem. I got this really neat paint organizer, and I had to move it out of the way to get to my bits box.
Who makes it?
The paint organizer?
Yeah.
Let me see. I have it. I have.
I guess a more pointed question is it one that you like travel with, or is it just a?
No, it's designed to be in one place. It's made out of like fiberboard.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, fiber wood and stuff. But I actually have others, the other sides to it set up in my Amazon wish list. That's where I bought it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Tabletop. Plydolex.
I've heard of it. I was looking at one the other day.
Yeah, this one's really
like,
This one's really nice too, because like normally those the paint organizers, the plywood paint organizers, don't have slots sized for Citadel paints. But
right,
ones
it's all the bottles, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's all the dropper bottles, yeah. But these ones do,
right.
And they've got a section at the top that's designed for the dropper bottles. So you'll have like a condensed area where you can fit like twice as many dropper bottles at the very, very top, but all the rest of them are sized for the Citadel paints. And what's even better is that you've got stuff like this here. This is one of my acrylic metal color airbrush ones for Vallejo that I've got. This is the same size as a Citadel one. So even though this is Vallejo, it fits in the Citadel holes.
Nice.
So that's what I'm really glad about. But anyway, yeah, here. So this is my old Mephiston. You can tell. I've had to kind of take him partially apart because I think I'm gonna repaint him a little bit. But this is teenage quiz paint job. But this is Mephiston's sword, and this is I'm really proud of. You can see right there that I painted the lightning coursing down the blade. Make sure it's in frame. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it. Nice.
But yeah, so that's how I eventually go about all of my power weapons. And then I'm also the lunatic that never uses water slides. I choose to freehand all of my chapter symbols. So it leads to stuff like this. Here, hold on. Ah! Don't you fucking fall on me, you piece of shit. Alright.
And freehanding symbols. Ugh.
So you can see right here, this is my scout sergeant for my Blood Angels scouts. And you can see right there, I free-handed the blood dropping wings. also the 10th company badge on the other pauldron.
Jackasses, I've been in here for like 10 minutes and you haven't said hi to me.
Oh, hi, Reject. I say, I Reject. I can't tell if you're in here.
I'm just messing with you. I haven't even been in here that long. I saw you streaming that you was in here.
Ah.
And I was, out in my vehicle getting ready to head into work and everything, and that I'd say hey.
Oh, well, how are you?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm doing all right. How about you?
That's good. I say I'm making it.
That's all we can do, right?
Yep. I mean, it'd be worse if you weren't making it, but since we are making it, it's all we can ask for.
Exactly.
But yeah.
All right. I'm gonna head into work.
So
you guys
you're
have a lovely night.
You're not a Warhammer player, so but since you are a card flopper, just beware the Pinkertons.
Dude, that thing is such a fucking fucked up situation. I swear, I don't care how I got the fucking cards. If I happen to be in possession of cards and it was some sort of an accident, and then all of a sudden some fucking jackass, private detective people show up at my house telling me that I have to hand over the cards, go fuck yourselves. You're not the police. You can't even get a warrant to search my house.
Yep. And I'll say, and the worst part about it is that they were threatening him with you could go to jail for then arrest me, bitch. You can't. You know why? Because the Pinkertons were called out specifically in 1893. You can't act as the police. Go fuck yourself. Get off my property.
you can't even do a citizen's arrest in that situation.
Nope.
All the company can do is a civil lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Because the person did nothing wrong in the acquiring of them. He didn't go steal them or nothing. And in fact, technically, from what I understand with that story, he wouldn't even be able to be technically the one that should be sued. It would be the company that accidentally sent him the product early.
Yep. Yeah, no, that guy did absolutely nothing wrong. Period.
Right. And, it's just like, I'm sorry, but sometimes I feel like the wrong people have this type of stuff happen to them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then they don't handle it the right way.
Yeah. I mean, the right response to the Pinkertons coming to your door and they're saying, you need to give us back this stolen property. I'm all like, bitch, prove it's stolen. Because I bought it legally. You can go fuck yourself. Yeah. Oh, and where's your badge? Oh, you don't have a badge? Get the fuck off my property.
Right. No, actually, and in actuality, that should be reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with the police? You're not? Goodbye.
Yep.
Oh, you are with the police? Do you have a warrant? No?
Goodbye.
Have a good day.
Yep.
Right.
What did that come back to?
I was just
raging about the Pinkertons.
Yeah, making an offhand comment about the whole Pinkerton thing for Magic. Because Reject may not play Warhammer, but she definitely does play Magic. So I just had I just had to rile her up a little bit before she had to go into work.
Yeah. No, that whole fucking situation, I read about that. I barely made it halfway through the thing, and then I was like, nope, have to put article away. I will get too pissed off about this.
I mean, you can read Dungeon Chat for my thoughts on it. So yeah.
Well, I got to the part where it was like, and he gave the product back, and I'm like, what the fuck for?
Don't do it. Yeah, don't do that, man.
Because the secret detectives came to your house. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Not even the actual police can show up to your house and just demand that you give them the product. I mean, they kind of can, but then they don't have a real legal leg to stand on because you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, they have to prove that it was stolen to begin with, and then if they want to arrest you for it, they have to prove that you knew it was stolen when you bought it.
Right. Well, and then on top of that, they also have to prove intent.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, let's see here, okay, so civilly, Wizards of the Coast does not have to prove intent to prove that they were harmed by their product getting out early.
Yeah.
But for criminal stuff, there has to be intent proven.
Mm-hmm.
And considering that it all shakes out as being a complete accident.
Yep.
And everything, because they said that, like, the place that the
mens rea
like,
and mens culpa, I think, is the legal term.
You have to have mens rea, which is the criminal mind, to actually be able to have the charges brought against you. Mm-hmm. There was no intent to, do something wrong here. It was simply a company that does not specialize in magic products saw that a customer had ordered a magic product and was like, oh, hey, this says March of the Machines. This says March of the Machines. Ship it on out. Mm-hmm. They didn't read the aftermath part on it.
Yep.
Well,
that's really
the
just comes down to Wizards of the Coast. I mean, yeah. I say them having ambiguous marketing, and naming nomenclature means that these mistakes are bound to happen.
Exactly. And so that whole situation can go fuck themselves. I'm still probably going to be buying Magic cards and going to my local game store and playing on Friday nights and stuff.
Well, it's not
but
their
at the same
fault that Wizards of the Coast are fucking terrible.
Right. And that's just it. I've gone through this enough times where Wizards of the Coast has done something that pisses me off, and I'm like, never mind. I'm just going to focus on, am I having a good time with people that I am friendly with on Fridays?
Exactly. I was gonna say, it has nothing to do with Wizards of the Coast if you're having fun with the game.
Yeah. I just wish I also wish, and this is somewhat off topic only because it's not about the Pinkerton shit, but I also wish that they would stop trying to make everything so big and bombastic. 99% of the fucking creatures do something when they enter the field, or if they're just sitting on the field now. Where it used to be, most of the creatures were a vanilla whatever creature, and then some of them would do extra shit for you.
Yeah, I was
and it's
say,
like,
isn't that like normal? Because like I'm way out of the loop when it comes to Magic. I haven't played since God, 96.
Oh God, I have
I was under the impression that like the majority of
96.
Yeah. I was under the impression that most of the monsters were like just strength and toughness.
Vanilla beaters?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Nowadays, most of them, when this creature enters the battlefield, when you do this, when, whatever your equipment costs less to cast, your other creatures cost less to cast. Almost every fucking one of them. And on one hand, it's fun, right? But at the same time, it's just like, it makes you not really need to run any instance or sorceries to most extent. You don't too much have to worry about running any equipment or anything because the creatures themselves are fucking equipment these days.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. I haven't played Magic since '88.
My God, it's that old? I didn't realize.
Magic's old, yeah.
And I say for me, mostly I stuck to like tabletop games back in the day. Stuck to RPGs until I got into Warhammer.
That's fair.
Yeah. But Wizards of the Coast have been shitting on D&D too, so.
Wizards of the Coast. What do you expect?
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna be that person. Mm-hmm. It released in '93.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. what did I play? I played something. I played a card game ish in '88. Because I remember.
I was never a big.
I remember playing Magic early. Like, I don't know. It may not have been 88, but I remember playing at least early '90s whenever it came out. But there was another. What was the god? That's gonna make me nuts now.
All right, let's see here. Garfield.
I know there were like there was like a Star Trek and Star Wars one, and like a whole bunch of others, but I could have sworn all of those came out after Magic.
No, it was like a sci. It wasn't like that kind of sci-fi. It was more of a. What was it? It's gonna drive me nuts now. I'm gonna have to look it up later because I can't remember. But there was like a card game, a card table game. Around that time. Because I remember when the first, the colored decks were the first to come out that I remember. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts.
Like I said, I've never been a big card flopper. I had some Magic cards back in the day. Some. But I didn't get like hardcore into the collecting or anything like that. My roommate did for a while, but he kind of stopped as well. And then there was the Warhammer Magic cards that got released. And I was thinking about getting those. But everywhere sold out of them like immediately.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go look shit up. It's going to drive me nuts.
I'm so sorry. I knew.
No.
I'm sorry.
I have a bad memory, so it's okay. But the dates suck. Everything else is like great, but I just suck with dates.
Reject. That's all your fault.
It is.
Ah.
It's not my fault.
That is all right. I just can't think of it. I can.
What was it like?
Oh.
I mean, I get that you're thinking that it's...
I didn't have, there was not like mana or anything from like the first years, like when I played Magic with the first years. Because I had, what was my first deck? Red and then Ice. And then I got the greener Jade deck, the black deck. So yeah, that's all I remember. Which was a while ago. I ain't gonna lie. That was a while ago.
Well, I mean, even in '93, God, that's been around for what? Over 30 years at this point.
Yeah.
30 years at this point. It would be actually 30
yeah.
years. So.
Yeah, that's what kind of made me go look it up, because I knew that they had just released their 30th anniversary. That was one of the other big deals that had been made, was they released this like proxy card set. Did you guys hear about this one?
No.
This is
oh God, no.
Point. But they released this proxy card set of some of their most powerful cards, right? For $1,000 a pack.
Oh,
and
fuck.
You only get like a handful of cards per pack. Not even guaranteed which cards you're going to get. And
it's stuff like, the Black Lotus and stuff like that. Like, I know that's like really, really, really highly sought after,
right,
and powerful.
But these are proxies.
Cards. So yeah, they're not
these proxies that aren't even tournament legal.
Yeah.
And so it's $1,000 for them, and then to then be able to say that you have it or some shit, and then they turned around and gave a whole bunch of product to what's his name? Want to say that he's
Argon?
a rapper, but no. Oh God, he did the Doritos commercials for a while.
I'm guessing an influencer of some kind.
Some kind, it sounds like.
can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
Well, that's fine. I don't think the name is really all that important. Is the fact that they just gave him those cards?
Yeah, and then I think there was another, like some basketball player or something that Post Malone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Post Malone. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, they gave him a bunch of cards, and then I think possibly like a basketball player or something like that.
Was it?
And it's like
really just like them trying to gain him as like a spokesman,
a person that will play. Yeah, that was really just it. And it's like instead of, and this is where like people would then call out like toxic fandom type bullshit, and it's like if they would have done it for some of their bigger name players that people within the community know, that would have been more than, good for anybody here. Nobody would have been complaining. But they went to people that, like, I'm not going to say Post Malone and them don't play necessarily, but nobody's ever heard of them playing.
I think it could be the fact that they're trying to get the normie crowd. They're not really, in getting Post Malone into playing the game, they're not necessarily trying to go for the people that are already, within the community and know about it. They're wanting to get the people who are like on the fence or don't really know about it, but know about Post Malone's music and sit there and say, well, Post Malone plays Magic the Gathering? Well, I suppose there must be something to this card flopping game.
Right.
But that's always the problem with anybody with any of the companies that go out there and start chasing the normie crowd that is not their typical stuff, is they start catering to them people that they're trying to chase. And they start losing the people they already have.
Their original audience.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
I say that's the reason
and then
why, to bring up a small tangent here real quick, why I appreciate Games Workshop. Because Games Workshop, they do the exact opposite. They get a celebrity involved in, making their products, or making, stuff for them, and then the celebrity gets really obsessed with Games Workshop's products.
Right.
It happened with Henry Cavill, although Henry Cavill played before he started getting involved in Games Workshop productions. But Henry Cavill. You have Raul Coley, the TV actor. He was the ME on iZombie. He's doing the voice for the Space Marine in the new game Bolt Gun that's coming out this next month, and he voiced the character, and then he's all like, well, let's see what this Warhammer stuff is all about. I want to make sure I'm doing the role justice. And then he got he got into the game hard after that.
Yeah, if you, there's what's the channel that hosted him? It was
Play on Tabletop.
Play on Tabletop, yeah.
Yep.
Right, but even that wasn't like they turned around and gave him.
Oh no! He bought all the shows.
Oh no, they did.
Right.
They gave him a set. But he's the one who had to go along.
No. Apparently, according to him, no, he bought everything himself.
Oh really?
Yeah.
The way they made it sound like is they gave him a starter set but he had to go and paint it. They were like, we're not painting it for you, but
yeah, I think.
Well, but even if they would have given him a starter set, that's still not giving him some sort of an anniversary edition of it.
Yeah, that's worth
true.
Like $1,000 or some sort of shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So even if they gave him that as just like a, hey, thanks for doing the voice on our game, here's an extra bonus besides your regular payment that we agreed to give you. Mm-hmm. That's a different thing.
Oh, true. That's a whole different. Yeah.
So I mean, even then, that I don't know. It's just that type of stuff. It's the same stuff that a lot of people saw happen in regards to like the Star Wars and stuff like that. When you start chasing a bigger crowd, but at the same time while alienating your regular group, you can't then bitch because your regular group is no longer supporting your bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah, I could agree with that.
Agree.
You know, nobody's complaining that you're chasing the other crowd. Just don't alienate your main crowd.
Yeah, don't alienate.
I mean, that's the same problem that. Yeah, like even within friend groups, most people that are friends with somebody aren't ever going to get mad at them for going out and trying to make new friends. They only get mad when they start feeling alienated from their friend. It's. Anyways, I do gotta go. I gotta, like,
yes, I agree. I agree with the whole it's utter bullshit. Yes, it is.
All right, you guys have fun and have a good night. Okay.
You too.
Oh yeah, all the fun.
I think Homeboy kept this in a pluck foam thing because I saw some foam attached to spiky bits.
Oh, he said foam. Crap.
No?
Well, I've got a what do you call it? I have to make some terrain.
Oh, okay.
Just haven't had time.
Well, to be fair, for that kind of stuff, you don't necessarily need to always make it. Games Workshop actually sell really good terrain right now. I'm not a paid spokesperson. But let's put it this way, man. I have like accumulated a whole bunch of sets of their terrain, and it's really good. I like all the details.
All right.
That in it.
All right.
And then you have all the boarding action stuff too.
Yeah, I've looked into that. I've got to do something.
Those are fun. That's the major thing that we're going to try to do for camping and playing Warhammer in the summer.
Oh yeah.
Is we're going to try and bring all the terrain for boarding actions.
Nice.
That's going to be fun.
I'm not so horribly upset about the hammer now.
Oh, what's that?
The hammer, his
looking pretty good.
it's looking decent.
Hang on. What the fuck is that? Oh, one of my Eldar jet bikes.
Don't break it. Don't you do that.
Now these are my old Eldar jet bikes. They're not gonna break. They're robust as fuck. Need to clip the head off of one of the ones I bought at Adepticon though. This has got the old style head. Yeah, I can show off that a little bit. So this is an old style Eldar jet bike, but if you look at them really closely, you can tell that it's not quite the same as an old Eldar jet bike because of the helmet. The helmet is a brand new Eldar Storm Guardian helmet. The reason why is because I got a whole shit ton of extra Storm Guardian helmets when I bought a new Guardian Defender set. So I have a whole bunch of these extra helmets. So what I was doing is I actually went through and took all of these, which are the old style Eldar jet bikes. This is the one that I bought at Adepticon. And I clipped out the old style helmet, which I hate. I hate this helmet. I hate it so much. So
Don't
yeah,
hate it.
I just
Come on.
cut off the head, and I took a Dremel tool and I bored a hole down into the neck stump, and then I put the Storm Guardian helmet on it. So I got to do that with this guy. This is the one that I bought at Adepticon.
Don't get mad.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh my god.
I also need to widen the bore on the flying peg on the old that jet bike as well. So you can see right here too, I've got some of the new style Eldar jet bikes, and I even went and did that with them too. I put the Storm Guardian helmet on them. because that's kind of what I wanted to do.
It does look good.
Yeah, I wanted to make it look like they were different because I play Samhain. You know, and Samhain are
Right.
the wild riders, so I wanted to make them, you know, somewhat crazy in some sort of regard.
I think I'm gonna prep the base out, and then I'm probably gonna call it. Cause man, I gotta get up in the morning.
Well, we've been going for an hour. I think it's about time we can close it down. So we'll do that now, and then we can shoot the shit for a little bit until you gotta go. We've been Minions of the Zoo. Thank y'all for coming out, watching some paint dry with us. I don't know. If you're down to make this a regular thing, we can just make this a regular thing on Sundays. You and I both paint. Help us both be productive.
For right now. Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. Right. Let's say you could help by just getting off of Twitter, my guy.
That's true. Very true.
That's very true. But yeah, we've been your Minions of the Zoo. Thank y'all for coming out, watching some paint dry. Be sure to watch tomorrow where Mr. Adam is going to be the host, playing some video games. He was supposed to be on tonight, but I guess he, it's fine. He can get some jerk. I know. I say he probably needs a rest. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, come tomorrow, people, and give Terry a hard time.
Well, yeah, I would say definitely give Terry a hard time. That's just a requirement. But
yes.
and cheer on Adam. Cheer on Adam. Even if he loses, cheer him on. And yeah. Take care, everyone. The zoo is closed.